Thank you for attending our Team Tour High Velocity event in New York, Munich, or London. In the next few minutes, I'll give you a quick recap of the keynote session, Navigating the Future of ITSM, Jira Service Management in an AI World. But before we begin, please keep in mind that specific product features mentioned or presented may be subject to change. In this session, we talked about the changes in how we work with our hybrid workforces and distributed teams are impacting organizations, how the proliferation of new artificial intelligence tools is reshaping work itself, and the challenge of our IT systems in keeping up with everything being thrown at them. So the question we need to ask ourselves is, how do we transform the way that we work? And more specifically, how can Atlassian help? What we've seen is that we have made significant strides in helping you deliver delightful service experiences for your entire organization, how we're bringing development and IT closer together and reimagining operations, and how we're scaling for the future with a comprehensive system for asset management and compliance. Let's start with delightful service. We believe in offering delightful service experiences across all teams. You see, to get started, we're investing in building a whole bunch of pre-built service management templates, all available out of the box. And these templates are for teams like finance, marketing, design, HR, sales. They all come with the most common request forms and workflows pre-configured. These are amazing starting points, helping team hit the ground running. But what happens when you want more control on how things work? Well, we've got that covered too, with major new enhancements on the configuration process for any service desk. The new configuration experience allows any team to tailor the service desk they want to provide. Let's get started. First, select the service request you'd like to get started with. There's a whole library of industry standard request types for you to choose from, and you can quickly tweak the request forms to meet the needs of your team. First, you choose how you want to work. You can select from one of the recommended out-of-the-box workflows or use our drag-and-drop workflow designer to configure a new one to match the process of your team. And within minutes, you have a tailored service desk up and running. This experience gives each team more control over their configuration, saving time going back and forth with a central admin. And ultimately, this means more autonomy for every team, yet still achieving simple, aligned experiences for your employees. Now, let's supercharge all that you just saw with the power of Atlassian Intelligence. And we're exploring ways that allow teams to simply describe the service in a few sentences and generate request forms and workflows on the fly. For example, we are an HR team that works on onboarding and offboarding employees, as well as managing all leave policies and requests. Just hit go, and Atlassian Intelligence can take the guesswork out of creating your service desk by generating appropriate request types and, in the future, even workflows across a range of use cases. And we are not just talking about the common domains of IT and HR. This can extend to things like catering or logistics. My team runs logistics for the transportation division. We want a service desk to manage common shipping requests. Bam! A fully functional service desk in seconds. We're putting the power of infinite templates at your fingertips, accelerating every team to get started with service. Now, most teams love working with a queue of work, much like a shared inbox for the team. When a ticket gets created, it ends up on their lap. Teams can choose how they want to prioritize incoming work, whether that's first in, first out, or something more sophisticated like SLAs or time to response. In addition to queues, we're adding new views to better visualize and manage work. For example, we've introduced views to visualize incoming and in-flight work as cards on a board, helping teams rapidly identify blockers and distribute their workload in 2 dimensions. And to add to that, we've also introduced the ability to visualize time-dependent work on a calendar. It's very intuitive. This makes it easy to visualize scheduled future work, like HR looking to onboard a new employee, finance procuring hardware, or IT planning a systems upgrade. Now, let's take this up a notch with the power of Atlassian Intelligence. We know that's very easy to get overwhelmed with the back and forth that goes on tickets, often bouncing around multiple individuals across departments and different time zones. So we're making super easy for someone to jump onto a ticket and rapidly get up to speed with AI-generated case summaries. With the click of a button, you can get a concise TLDR of the conversation so far. In this case, Aria has spilled coffee on her laptop. Omar has suggested to try drying, but the problem still exists. The next agent jumping on board can quickly get up to speed and decide what action to take. So Atlassian Intelligence can also help agents craft better responses. Often, how well teams can resolve tickets comes down to how well they communicate. Are the instructions clear? Is the tone professional and empathetic? So Atlassian Intelligence can quickly rewrite messages with greater clarity and context to minimize potential confusion. You'd never have to worry about agents saying, well, just turn it off and on again. AI can really help teams write CSAT winning responses. These capabilities are already available in Jira Service Management today. Now, in the future, we're looking to use the power of AI to recommend experts to pull into the conversation and even suggest the best next action by learning from the knowledge base buried in previous resolved tickets. And we believe that this will be a game changer that helps agents onboard, ramp up, and deliver delightful service with ease. And we know delightful service experiences imply just that, a beautifully amazing experience for customers when they come to seek help. And we're really excited to work on new capabilities that extend the customization and theming options of the Help Center, making it possible for the portal to truly be an extension of your organization's brand. We'll be giving admins the ability to not just control the layout, but also integrate rich content and build personalized experiences for help seekers. And we'll be introducing the concept of multiple help centers so you can create tailored experiences for different audiences. Now, let's move from delivering delightful employee service experiences to the next generation operations. Jira Service Management integrates with all popular CI/CD tools like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, CircleCI, so that a change request will automatically be created in Jira Service Management without your dev teams ever having to leave their tools. In Jira Service Management, the risk of the change can then be assessed and managed. Low-risk changes are auto-approved and deployed. Medium-risk changes are made to soak in a staging environment first, and if no incident occurs in a set period of time, they get automatically pushed to production. As for high-risk changes, they will get routed to the right teams for review and approval before they get deployed. With this integration, your dev teams can track the progress of all the changes going out in the release right from the new Release Hub in Jira Software. When the change is approved for rollout, it's updated right away in the Release Hub and the relevant team members are notified. But what happens when things go wrong? It's an operations team's nightmare. Alerts coming from everywhere and landing all over the place. Now, with Jira Service Management, the incident manager can stay on top of all of the alerts, and in one centralized view, no more swivel chair to a separate incident response tool and losing precious time during an incident. And here's what's really cool. Since this whole incident management experience is built on the Jira platform, you can now leverage the powerful automation capabilities. And soon, you'll be able to connect third-party systems like AWS and link up complex automation rules with timers and branching logic. You can hook up some nifty automation like closing out an alert if it gets resolved, or auto-create an incident if the alerts are still blaring. These automation rules are super intelligent, but with the power of Atlassian Intelligence, we can take this even further. Whenever we get a sea of alerts like this, they're often about the same underlying problem. We can use the power of machine learning to cut through the noise by clustering similar alerts into one group. Instead of having to wade through a sea of alerts, the operations teams can focus their attention on the root cause of the underlying problem. And when you dive into an alert group, Atlassian Intelligence can generate insights based on past alerts to help you understand the potential impact and even recommend potential next steps, subject matter experts to reach out, potential root causes, related runbooks, and knowledge articles to help resolve issues fast. We're also using the power of generative AI to help teams move work forward. For example, teams can pre-populate an incident with AI-generated content from the underlying alert group, making it super easy for your ops teams to enrich the incident. And once the incident is resolved, Atlassian Intelligence can help you follow best practices, summarizing key findings from the incident to kickstart your team's post-incident review. We are reimagining operations in a way that uses AI to promote best practice. Now let's move on from operations to scale. We are making significant investments in Jira Service Management to ensure it can meet the scale and compliance needs of larger organizations. We're extending our support for the volume of assets you can store in Jira Service Management up to 3 million asset objects. And we know that data compliance is critical to many enterprises, so we have expanded data residency support across many different countries around the globe, recently extending to Canada, India, and South Korea. And we're continuing to add support for enterprise capabilities like SAML single sign-on, custom domains, and bring your own key encryption. HIPAA compliance and FedRAMP coming in the future. So there's a lot to get excited about. Scaling is not just about scalability of the ROT platform, though, but about the breadth of visibility across your organization. One particular area we are super excited about when it comes to visibility is the idea of comprehensive asset management. Now, traditionally, IT teams have used a CMDB as their source of truth for application and services-related information. But keeping this information up to date has always been a challenge. In the new digital world, we have dev teams running faster and updating services constantly. Your traditional CMDB will only give you half of the picture. Now, our approach is complete the picture for you, and we want to give you a full picture of everything that affects your service. Information on critical infrastructure, as well as data from development, tools around engineering components that make up an application. Now, our customers have also been asked to look at more than just the digital services and components. From tractors to teams, making good decisions is around changes and responding to incidents, ensuring security and compliance, tracking inventory, forecasting, planning for future growth. So all require a fuller, more accurate picture of critical assets. What you need is comprehensive asset management approach, but that easier said than done. The reality is, information lives across so many different tools, and even if you manage to identify the tools, the information in these tools are often incomplete or inaccurate. And that's why I'm excited that AirTrack has joined the Atlassian family late last year. AirTrack helps enterprises aggregate and analyze multiple sources of data, making it easier to pinpoint and remediate issues. It helps customers get to that elusive single source of truth by continually monitoring the environment to ensure their asset data is complete, current, and correct across the enterprise. Now, what does it do? First, it comes with over 30 out-of-the-box data connectors, helping companies improve coverage and data quality without forcing them to standardize on a single discovery tool. Second, it helps with rapid data reconciliation. It can, for example, identify missing service dependencies that can affect incident response and discover machines. They're open to unpatched vulnerabilities. Now, third, it tackles data beyond IT. And this helps address a wider range of challenges around security, compliance, inventory, billing, forecasting, and much more. Once you have the data in place, you can start to do some interesting things like ask questions, visualize the data, and take action. And talking about visualization, we're excited to announce that asset dashboards are available today. With the new asset dashboard, you now have complete visibility over your asset data. You can create reports, Filter them by objects and schemas to generate meaningful insights that help you make better decisions. And this works out of the box, no coding required. Now, let's spice it up. Let's add Atlassian Intelligence into the mix. The best part about comprehensive asset management is that the same data on your assets is also available in Atlassian Analytics. What this means is you can now combine your asset data along with other Atlassian or third-party data for complete visibility and insight into your whole environment. For example, here we have cloud operation information from AWS, like actual costs, plotted alongside budget data in Snowflake, all mapped to asset data from Jira Service Management. In one spot, you now have all the information you need about services, costs, and overall performance. And with the power of Atlassian Intelligence, you can query for complex relationships between assets and your data with simple natural language, like show me the number of incidents each asset is causing. Atlassian Intelligence can turn your plain English question into a SQL runnable query, helping you easily draw insights from your comprehensive asset data. If you can't tell, we are super excited about the possibilities AI can bring to ITSM. We've just shown you some of the highlights in Jira Service Management that make use of AI to provide delightful service experiences across your entire organization, from getting started through ticketless self-service, bringing dev and IT closer together, and reimagining best practice operations, and scaling for the future with a comprehensive system for intelligent asset management. Thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to learn about additional AI features we'll be launching soon, come see us at Team 24 in April. Thank you very much.